In my understanding of so many years, it always comes down to the problem you're solving and how you're solving it. And that's the first thing I had mentioned, what problem you're solving and how you're solving it. If those things are large enough, rest just happens. If I say happens, then you get, along the way you get advisors, along the way you get mentors, you get board members, who will help you take it to the next level. I am not going to say here, call this agency will help you, because those things are available and you can easily find them, provided you are at that stage. If you are at a stage, your product is successful in one country. One thing I can share here is, important thing is localize the problem to a set of markets and see if you succeed in those first. Like Uber did, I guess, in San Francisco. Lyft did in New York. Prove yourself in one market before having national ambition. Even. Only then you can think about international. I can share this from my personal experience. In one of the companies, it was an internet security dealing with bot detection. These are automated programs that are there all over in the internet. We were discussing about bots, and I think these bots were in news and Twitter and all that, how we can detect bots, looking at the behavior of the user. Basically, at a server level, if the user coming to the server is behaving as if it's an automated system, automated code, you can detect that. It was a nice idea, perhaps not as scalable, but it didn't succeed very much. Point I'm making here is that when we were looking at that, I think we were localized to Atlanta and a couple of markets in California to see if we could succeed with some of the clients there, and we tried our product in those. But one thing which struck us there was that there were many other bot detection and bot and analytical companies, click bot detections, bots which just do the click. Generate just fake clicks and all. We found all these companies put together didn't have valuation more than $100-200 million for some reason. And I'm glad we found that, and I think we kind of felt this market may not be ready, or market may not be large enough. So we sold that back to investors and they did something else with it. Why I'm mentioning that is because it is essential to see when you start with something and you may feel it's a large enough market. We felt it is, internet is a huge market, and detecting fake accounts. I mean, just recently, Twitter deal didn't go through, a $44 billion Twitter deal. The guy said they had a lot of bot accounts. If there's a code somewhere which could detect fake accounts, I mean, that should have been great value. But for some reason, the internet companies, or social media, or all these companies, hyperscale web companies or internet companies, have learned to live with that. 10% accounts, 10% transactions, 10% click, they're fake, they're coming from bots. It's okay, it's cost of doing business. So nobody is willing to pay money. In fact, they rather have large number of views. YouTube rather have their customers, where every video have large views, than going back there and telling them that, half of them are fake. I'm just taking that as an example. I know YouTube does remove fake views and fake accounts and all that constantly using their own code. All these companies have become smart enough with their own artificial intelligence code to detect this, that they don't need another service to tell them. But still, there is a there is a threshold everyone is willing to live with. 5 to 10% of this, they all assume, are going to be fake, and we are fine with it. So going back to that company idea that I'm talking about, I was glad. In between, one of the investors was saying, let's go to Korea, let's go to Japan, they have a big problem. I'm glad we didn't, because had we spent a lot of money going globally, we would have suffered. So instead, I think we felt that in US itself, and we see the market is not large enough, looking at all, there were click forensics There are a bunch of companies at that time, and all of them were struggling. And I think we felt that let's not spend too much money on it. Now, whereas there was another product company, that another product I had in a company where it was greatly successful among all the OEMs. I mean, all the white label server companies, server manufacturers in US. We felt after taking top 2 of server companies as clients, we said let's go out. We went to Germany for Fujitsu, Siemens. We went to Japan. I myself made trips to Japan. We went to Taiwan, and we went to Korea, and I even came to India to talk to some of the server manufacturers here. So I think there's a time for it, but you would know it after you have proven your product in one market. That's a time to go out to other markets. Hopefully it helps you.